This doesn't look anything like the other bows you've made.
Nope, this bow doesn't look like the other bows that I've made. The other bows that I've made are patterned after Western European or American style bows. This one,
This one's mine.
that one's yours. It's pecan. It's pecan self bow. Very simple mechanics. It's simply a piece of wood, all the same piece of wood. Added a little air rest and what have you here, but it's basically just a piece of wood that you pull until it almost breaks. It's a straightforward design. This one has some mechanical advantages. Well, it's got a grip that's added separately. This is the wood core. The wood core is going to be covered with sinew. I've done backed bows before with sinew on them. This one's also going to have horn on the belly. But the main advantage mechanically is the installation of this rigid Siyah.
I thought that was pronounced Siyah.
No, Siyah is the scabbard for a Japanese sword.
Oh.
This rigid Siyah is applied to the end of the limb. It functions as a lever.
I thought that was pronounced lever.
It functions as a lever to add additional mechanical advantage when you draw the bow back. These limbs flex, that stays rigid, it gives you more speed effectively. Now, the video that we've just produced has nothing to do with the final installation and assembly of the bow. What we're talking about in this video is the rough out of the grip and the productions of the Siyah, so that we can assemble it. It's at that point right now where they're in place, but we'll show how these individual pieces are produced, and the final video will have to do with completion of the bow and its test firing, hopefully.
All right, let's get to it.
Let's get to it. Since neither the siyahs nor the grip require the flexibility of good bow wood, I'm using spalted sycamore to make those components because of its attractive grain pattern. In order to make the blanks from which the siyahs and the grip will be cut, I section off slabs from this semicircular piece of sycamore. The split slabs are hewn down with my single bevel hatchet in order to make a flat plank from which the siyahs will be cut. The outline of the siyah is drawn on the sycamore stock as a guide for cutting out the piece. Before the siyah is completely cut out, I cut a notch to locate the position of the string nock.
Siyah is now cut out in profile, but it still requires additional shaping. Now I use a Stanley Sureform plane, the Sureform shaver, and a round rasp to give final configuration to the Siyah. I taper it so that it is wide at the base where it contacts the core, but narrow at the tip. It is also tapered front to back so that that portion that mates up with the back of the bow is wider than that which is parallel to the belly of the bow. Now that the Siyah is contoured, the round rasp is used to open the notch and form a seat for the horn insert into which the string nock will be cut. The solid tip of the oryx horn is fitted into the semicircle cut out on the end of the Siyah. The horn will then be cut to that dimension and split along its length to form two segments, one for each one of the Siyahs. With the oryx horn trimmed so it matches the groove, it is now sawn down its length. Now that the centerline cut has been made, the insert pieces are cut free from the horn stock for later installation into the Siyah. The final step in Siyah prep is to cut the notch where the Siyah will mate up with the core of the bow. This configuration of the mating surface of the Siyah is not strictly traditional, but it does follow the pattern used by some contemporary makers, including the good folks at Mead Archery. While forming the Siyahs was a little complex, this sycamore block for the grip just has to be shaped basically to size, and then will be finished once it's installed on the bow blank. Once the mating surface of the grip has been formed, where it can match up with the bow core, the sides are narrowed to provide a proper arrow pass, and the back of the grip is shaped into a curvature to properly fit the hand. With the completion of the siyahs and the grip, our next project will be assembly of the bow. Installation of these parts, the siyah and the grip, installation of the sinew and the horn, final finishing, and then field testing of the bow. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a constructive comment, like, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.